Man, holy cow, slap weasel. Yeah, I had to change things up because my OBS decided to crap the bed. So, yeah, we are going low tech today. Yeah, it's a little nuts. We'll be able to use the Discord. We'll still be able to do phone calls. Of course, I'll have to type the number in because I won't have that. But anyway, it's what we're going to be doing tonight until I find out what's going on. A new update on the Mac OS system stopped OBS from being able to use it. So, how's the sound? Everything okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me? Hey, Josh. Okay. Yeah, I had to go low tech tonight because OBS doesn't want to talk with OBS doesn't want to talk with the new operating system on the Mac. So we got to figure out what's going on with that. I kind of been working on it for an hour because I expected to come in here and start things up and poof, and it didn't work. So yeah, it's kind of weird doing this. I haven't done it this way in a year. So yeah, it's a little weird. What I will do is let me it'd be nice if I actually memorize my own number for the stream, but I'm so used to just popping it up on the. So let's see here. So I'll do this. Oh, now I sound funnier than I actually are. Thank you, Slap Weasel. Go F yourself. Okay. 0360. And that is the phone number for the call-in, guys. Yeah, I had to go without the OBS tonight. Something was up with it. It didn't want to work with the Mac system, so oh well. Hi, Brian. Brian, I've been for the last hour working on trying to get OBS to communicate with the computer because with the new update on the computer didn't want to. So I wasn't looking at my phone. My phone was in the other room until 2 minutes ago. So yeah, nothing I can do. Sorry about that. Just the way it is. For whatever reason. Oh. Hey James, I didn't notice. Well, see, Brian, you come to my stream. I figured you were talking to me. No, the notification had nothing. Greta, you're here in time. Trust me. There just wasn't any kind of introduction. There's no OBS going on right now. So that's what's going on. Just kind of a little nuts. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, well, like I said, the only thing that's not working is the program, my OBS program. My studio is a mess. I have a pile of junk behind me. Still, yeah, you can see I was at the farm this weekend and never put anything away, so there's still like pistol. Yeah. So yeah, nothing's put away. But yeah, my studio is a mess right now. Complete disaster area. But I hope everybody's doing fine. Hey, that's the number. I'm going to keep on dropping it in here if you guys want to call in. Yeah, doesn't it, Huckleberry? Holy cow, it's a disaster right now. Yeah, I got piles of stuff back here. Yeah. Yeah, housekeeping is me. Yeah, I'm not doing it right now. I didn't have a chance. Like I said, been really, really busy. I'm not coming through on Discord. That's interesting because I have everything feeding into it. So why wouldn't I be coming through on Discord? I'm looking at it. Your mic is muted on Discord. Just so you know, Field. I'm showing green. So let me pop out, and I'm going to jump back in. Okay, it's showing. You should be hearing me. So I don't know what's going on. No, it's not coming through, huh? That's unusual because I have everything feeding into it. So why wouldn't it be coming through? That's rather unusual. Hold on. I think I'm going to fix that. Let me find out what's going on here, and we'll see why it's not coming through. Let me test this out, guys. Hold on. Voice activity. Let's do a check. Hey, guys, guess what? It's testing out that it's coming through. So why you guys aren't hearing it on Discord is beyond me, because I just tested it out. And I have you guys cranked up right now, too. So I should be getting everything back. Hello, you're on the air.
Said.
Hold on. Well, there you go. What's up?
Not too much, man. How was it at the farm?
It was busy. I didn't even have time to have fun. Just
oh, shit.
Busy. So,
well, I know Brian is in the chats, and I think a lot of people know what he's gone through, and some people might not know. But I wanted to give Brian my condolences and a big man hug over the air, and I appreciate what you do, Pender. Well, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about how long have you been around the community?
Which community are you talking about?
Yeah. I said that wrong. How long have you been in the YouTube community, I should say?
YouTube, 2 years.
Okay. All right. And let's talk specifically about the Cop Watch community.
Okay.
What I know that you watched a lot of videos. I know that you've commented on a lot. What have you learned from any of that?
Well, I learned a lot of stuff. I mean, you want to be specific. I learned that I don't think everybody wants to fix the problem. I think people are pretty much happy doing their YouTube streams and, causing a fuss, and they really don't want to fix it. They want to expose it, which is fine. Expose the problem. I just don't feel it. The majority of them don't want to fix it. So that's just me.
Okay. And then let's change. Let's go to what they call the auditing community, where they're not specifically doing cop watching, but they're auditing public facilities.
Okay, that's basically I kind of lump those two in together, although I shouldn't. So that's basically the community that I believe isn't trying to fix anything. The cop watching community, I like cop watching better. I think it exposes a lot more. Look how many cases where people have filmed somebody that have really, really exposed problems. I don't think the auditing is exposing really anything. I think the cop watching exposes more, and it also causes how would you say to see now the difference with the auditing. What I'm finding out more is if people don't get the reaction they want, they're going to step it up a notch to get a reaction. It seems like it's a quest to victimhood, and where I think the cop watchers are a little different. That's like I said, that's what I've observed in 2 years. So
I got you. So let's talk a little bit about corruption in law enforcement, and let's talk about the top law enforcement agency in the country, which is the FBI. Excuse me. Over the last 2.5 years, top 5 officials in the FBI have either been fired or resigned.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5. top 5 law enforcement officials in the top law enforcement agency in the country have been fired or resigned. I think that speaks volumes. What's your opinion?
It sure does. It speaks huge volumes. I mean, the problem with the FBI, the top guys, it's too political now. It's not about the law anymore. It's about politics. It's about who they serve, and it's not who we're not the ones they serve. They're serving their commander in chief or whoever it is that pays the bills at the time and signs their check, and we're not in that group. I mean, it's kind of pathetic, but I don't.
Well, we are kind of, Steve, because we pay their paycheck.
Yeah, I understand.
So we kind of are affected.
But we're not getting involved in saying, hey, we can fire them. You know what I mean? It's not like we have the ability to walk in there and say, hey, you're fired. So they're not scared of us. And anybody in power that's not scared of the people that they're supposed to be serving, you know what that means. So
I agree.
And they need to be afraid. We need to be more in charge.
Well, I think that our forefathers kind of faced that similar situation when we became the country in which we are. The king wasn't afraid of us either. And we, the people, are the ones that rectified that situation. And so I think that what you're getting at is true, that they need to understand that we, the people, do pay their paychecks, and we, the people, are the ones that can hold them accountable. Now, it's very difficult to do that. I understand, in a position in the chair that you're sitting in and the chair that I'm sitting in. And but I just wanted to bring up that top 5 law enforcement officials in the country have either resigned or been fired, and that's the leadership of representation of all law enforcement in the country.
Well, now, okay. Well, here's what I'm getting at, though. Think about the administration that's in office now and how many people have been fired compared to the last administration when we had Holder in there running guns into Mexico, proven running guns into Mexico so they'll come back so they can attack the Second Amendment. And the guy walks. No one does anything. That's the difference in administrations.
Every administration for the last 50 years has been corrupt in a similar manner. We're running guns right now.
Oh yeah,
we're running guns all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay, it's what we do. All right. Now that's another subject, but I wanted to get your opinion on this too, Pender, and then I'll let somebody else call in. I don't want to hold up the line. Let's use Tuck Police Suck, for example.
Okay.
Those guys out there in Arizona. They're in there trying to film courtrooms. A lot of people in communities, they don't understand why it is that we can't just walk into a courtroom and run a live stream. And it's perplexing to me, but I did some research on this, and I wanted to voice this to you, and I wanted to get your opinion on this and that of the people that are listening and watching. The Supreme Court of the United States is the highest court in the land. Now, if you'll notice, I talk about the highest law enforcement agency in the land, and I talk about the highest court in the land. Okay?
Yep.
Because everything trickles down from there. Okay? The Supreme Court of the United States, when someone, I can't remember who it was, but they wanted to film inside of the Supreme Court of the United States. People say, well, there's jurors in courtrooms. People say, well, there's victims in courtrooms. That's why.
Yep. At
a lower level. That's their excuse. Well, there is no jury in the Supreme Court of the United States. And there are no victims in the Supreme Court of the United States. There's 2 lawyers or 10 lawyers on each side, and they're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And the justices are asking questions. And there's this whole litigation show going on. And the Supreme Court justices don't even make a ruling right there. They make it months and months and months later. But when asked why we can't film in the Supreme Court, their reason was given that it could affect a justice's behavior and it could affect a justice's decision. What do you feel about that explanation as to why a common everyday citizen cannot walk into the Supreme Court of the United States with a camera and film a public trial?
Well, the only reason that I could think of would be the pretrial and jury selection. And
there's no jury. There's no jury in the Supreme Court.
I understand, but it's in courts in general, is what I'm saying. In the Supreme.
No, but it all trickles down. Pinder, hold on.
I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm just saying.
But give me your opinion about the Supreme Court. I don't care about the lower courts.
I think it has to do with okay, and I'll use this for an example, and this is my own opinion. I think it's going to have to do with the same reason why there's confusion with our own Constitution. It's because all we see is the Constitution. We don't see the arguments that led up to the decision of the Constitution. And I'm thinking, and this is only my opinion, I'm thinking it's because I'm pretty sure if people heard the arguments leading up to the decision making on certain laws, I believe that has a lot to do with why they don't want, because of the confusion. But also, I believe it's because there's a lack of transparency, because we're not allowed to see them for what they really are.
Bingo. Okay. Bingo.
Because
you said the word, the lack of transparency.
Well, yeah, yes. Because I believe they're afraid for us to say. I mean, think about the problems it would cause if we heard Ruth Bader up there and her BS half zombified woman of herself up there spewing out her garbage. We would know them for what they truly are. And like I said, that's one reason, but I also believe that when they come to a final decision, people couldn't handle the arguments that led up to that decision.
Okay. So all of this leads to my closing.
Sure.
My closing is this. Change starts at the top, not at the bottom. Okay? So the change has to start in the Supreme Court, and the change has to start in the FBI. When the top is cleaned up, then we can work our way down. And I have a hard time understanding how anyone can roll under the concept of changing a problem from the bottom up. So if we're on the street filming cops are just doing what the judges are going with.
And what have I been preaching for the past 2 years? What have I been preaching for the past 2 years on how you fix this problem? I said you're not going to get anywhere by causing the police department to be your enemy and by causing the public to be your enemy. Those are the guys you need to get on your side. You have to go above their heads to the ones that are pulling the strings on the cops. Now, you guys can say that cops, they uphold the Constitution and this and that, and they vowed and they gave an oath to uphold it, and people are like they should just disregard the orders of their superior. Well, maybe so, okay. But what I'm saying is, you'd be surprised what a person will do when the feeding of their family is on the line.
That's right. They'll put you in a gas chamber.
Okay. So here's So what I've always done is I said, look, if you want changes in police procedure, you've got to First, you have to be able to get their ear. You have to make them want to listen to you. And you're not going to get that by telling them F off and flipping them off and going F the cops and all this and that. And more cops need to get, I've heard, I can't believe how many times I've heard that more cops need to get shot. Okay. So that just turns my stomach, and that's not exactly going to get anything changed. It just makes you look like a complete idiot, and no one's going to want to listen to you. So
I agree.
So when you get the ear, we learned this from protesting back in the day, nuclear power, and I used to protest that. We caused all kinds of problems. We had the National Guard show up. We had police. Tear gas was thrown. Crazy stuff. I've been arrested for it. Okay, so none of that was working. So what we did was we figured out where to fix this, and we got involved in the Nuclear Regulatory Committee. We got involved in politics so we could get the ear of the people that could change it. Because
you went to the top.
Yes.
You went to the top.
Yes.
And you got the change made at the top.
Yes.
And for this community to succeed, we have to make the change at the top and allow it to trickle down. That's my point.
Yeah. So now we got the Nuclear Regulatory Committee to change by pressuring them from the people above them. Okay, that's how we got it done. And look at even just locally with my case, with the whole swatting that happened to me. Guess what, guys? I went to the elected sheriffs in the adjacent counties to me, and guess what we're doing now? We're going, because of all the issues that have happened. I'm glad we brought this up, because this goes into the next thing I want to talk about. So I got them, and now they're looking to change the policies on how they respond to these calls, so everyone is safe and no one gets shot. Much like what just happened in Fort Worth. We have a cop that's on a friggin' I know he's gonna get convicted for murder too. I don't see how he's not. But here's what's going on. That call that happened, and I don't know if people picked up on this, that was a non-emergency line that was called in, and they called in a wellness check. Well, the woman and her 8-year-old nephew were playing video games live. Okay? If this wasn't a SWAT call, I don't know what is. They're not calling it a SWAT call. Their next door neighbor called in a wellness check. Why would they call in a wellness check? Okay, and of course the guy, look, the guy's an idiot. And I'm thanking God that there was no idiot at my scene when that happened, because if it wasn't me, someone was going to get hurt. And if it was an idiot cop there, someone was going to get hurt. So I'm having a problem with the way things are being handled, because I truly think that we've been doing it wrong. I mean, that's why I said I tried to get in. I tried to help the auditors. I gave them police officers to talk to that called into the stream so they could have an open communication with them, and they blew it. All they wanted to do was rag on them and call them names. So what the hell are you gonna? I mean, you know what I mean? It's like you give them an opportunity to fix it, and then all they could do is they're like, "Yay, we got a police officer that we can yell at. Yay, look at that, he's on Steve's channel. Let's go yell at him." So all he did was for 2 hours call him a pig, call him this and that. It's like, really? This is.
I want to make
what?
So what you said two very, very important things. Okay. Every single person that I've seen filming the police that was being detained asked for reasonable, articulable suspicion for a detainment to give the whatever information. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
We cannot reasonably articulate, but we demand they do the same. Well, we're not able to reasonably articulate our frustrations. We can yell, fuck the cops and all this nonsense, but we demand that they reasonably articulate suspicion. Why don't we reasonably articulate our concerns?
I don't feel
that's a great point.
But I don't feel that the community, it's not that they're not capable, they don't want to. Because look,
okay.
you know what gets me? But there's a difference between an activist and a YouTuber. That's the difference. You have an activist that actually wants to fix the problem, and they're out there and they're doing the best that they can. But then you have the YouTuber that goes, I create a dumpster fire. I get more train wrecks than I get more views. Of course, everybody wants a good train wreck. Who the hell doesn't want to see someone get freaking handcuffed and slapped around? And it's like, yeah, F the cops. Look how bad that cop is. Yeah. So, I mean, think about it. Everybody goes to those channels because they know there's going to be a train wreck.
That's right. So the other thing that you pointed out was that you didn't go to the police deputies in every community around you. You went to the sheriff, which is the top law enforcement officer in every county.
And do you know how I was able to do that? Because I know them. I've developed a relationship with them. That's how I was able to do that.
That's right. But you were able to articulate your concerns to them.
Yes.
Okay? And without degrading them, without using, one man's lyrics, what is it? One man's profanity is another man's lyrics. I understand that.
Yeah.
But when you want to effectively make change, and I'm not saying act a fool, this is America, okay? And in America, you have the freedom of speech, and I served this country for that right, okay? I served in the military. I'm former law enforcement. I was a dope smuggler in the 80s. I've been on every side, Pender. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. I understand both sides of the track. But you said something very important. You didn't go to the street beat cops. You went to the sheriffs. And those sheriffs are the guys that can make the difference. Okay? The leaders are the people that need to be filled. The heads of law enforcement agencies, the heads of the courts, okay? And if we go to the top, we can eliminate all of the casualties that we've been facing in trying to get change made. So that's all it is. We have to, proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. And if we can go to the top, make a plan, get to the top, articulate our concerns as we the people, we can address it with those officials that need to implement the change, to give the commands and the orders to make the change, and that's where it's going to happen. You're doing the right thing, Pender, and I thank you for doing it.
Like I said, I hope I am. Like I said, but, as far as the, guys, the auditor community and, all the YouTubers, I'm done. I'm not trying to help you guys anymore. If you're in this channel, I'm not. I'm not trying. I'm not going to, except for a few of them. And you guys know who you are, because that's the ones those streams are the ones I go to, the ones I still support. But the majority of them out there, I don't do
it's
it.
Unbelievable.
And like I said, I tried everything that I could possibly do. And my thanks for doing that is some Joe Schmo who's going to get his door knocked on decided to swat me. And then when I went on Black Label Stream and we started talking about a solution, I took a whole lot of heat for it, for just, I was called every name in the book, and it's like, whatever. That's it. Now you guys can have your friggin' fire all to yourself. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to bring marshmallows, but I'm not bringing water to it.
Well, right here on your channel, Pender, I want to salute every good law enforcement officer in this country. And right here on your channel, I want to salute every good activist in this country, because that's what makes this country good.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, you if you serve this country, you fought for the right to protest this government. and bring forth redress of grievance. Okay, that's part of what makes this country what it is. But the problem is it's the way you've gone about doing it is that YouTube made you a star, and that's what you're addicted to. That's all you're addicted to. You know,
it's not good. It's not good. We must hold one another accountable, and we must hold our government officials accountable.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know something? It's like a Christian. You know, as a Christian, we're called to go basically walk right through the gates of hell and take back what was stolen. That's your call as a Christian. The problem is when you're walking through the gates of hell, you don't announce yourself. And that's why people aren't getting in and fixing anything. It's because they're making their videos at the entrance. Just talking to a cop isn't going to change anything. Causing a problem with a cop isn't going to change anything. If you expose a cop by being an asshole to the cop, guess what? You're both assholes. It didn't expose anything. It's just two assholes yelling at each other. You didn't expose anything. Okay. If you just, because let me tell you something. If you're just doing your thing out there and doing your First and Second Amendment, and you're not being a jerk and you're just being relaxed and calm all about it, guess what? The assholes, if they're out there, they're going to find you. And then guess what? From the videotape, all it is a cop being an asshole and you being calm. You being who you are. You can still redress your grievance right to him and say, hey, man, what are you doing? What do you think I did in my swatting? I said, what the hell are you doing? I'm in my yard. But I wasn't an asshole to him. I was calm. I wasn't being a jerk. I had 5 guns pointed at me. I wasn't being an asshole. Trust me.
I agree.
And guess what? None of the cops were assholes either.
I know that change can only be made at the top.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of lives are being ruined trying to make change at the bottom. I think that as a people, as the American people, all American people, we need to work for change at the top. And, you know, if we have to march on the steps of the FBI to get to the top, if we have to march on the steps of the Supreme Court to get to the top, that's what needs to happen. There's enough people that are concerned enough that would do something like that, I believe. I think a lot of resources and a lot of lives are being ruined and wasted at the so,
you know,
I didn't know you had gone and met with the sheriffs. I've met with the sheriff around here.
Because of the relationship with one of the sheriffs, I got a call that Monday morning from the sheriff because it was one of his departments that showed up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can get some change made. I know they didn't send in SWAT. They sent in what they call an SRT team.
Yep.
And it's a little different. But everything they did in Fort Worth was wrong.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Come on. The guy had the front door open. He could have spoke into the front door, said police, and that's actually protocol for him to do that. Instead, he decides to walk around the house and start peeking in the windows. Not for nothing, but he's lucky he didn't get his ass shot because it would have been justifiable. Someone starts peeking around my windows to my kid's window and stuff like that at night, they're getting shot. And guess what? It doesn't matter. I'm not going to jail. They're going in a bag. That's it. This cop is lucky he didn't get shot. Not only didn't he announce himself at the front door, he walked around the entire house over a minute, never announced he was a cop, then tells the woman to raise her hands and doesn't even give her a chance to raise her hands. He just shoots her. I mean, that's some bull crap friggin' lousy ass cop. He sucks. And there's no way
What happened?
What's that?
What happened? What happened to come out with your hands up?
Yeah, nothing. He said, show me your hands or whatever it was. Put your hands up and just shot her. It's like it was a wellness check. I mean, what the hell was he thinking? Oh, she's not well now.
Yeah. What happened to come out with your hands up?
At that point, this guy, I don't know. I think he had under 3 years on the force. Poorly trained, just blew it. And someone died as a result. So guess what? He gets murdered too.
Yeah.
No kidding, Brian. And now that family, and I guarantee you that police department is going to be paying for that and a whole lot more.
Yeah, but no amount of money replaces a life, and we know that. But let me tell you one quick story. I've been in law enforcement for about 2.5 years. I had a rookie cop with me one night. I got called to a suicide attempted suicide or something. Some lady called, or somebody called and said the lady was going to commit suicide. So we get to the residence. I parked the vehicle. We get out of the vehicle. The rookie cop, he's riding with me. He comes out. And I said, listen, bro, go around the right side. I'll go around the left side. He said, okay. But I watched him go, Pender. And when I watched him go, his knees were shaking. And I stopped him. And I said, listen, bro, don't fucking shoot me. Okay? I'm going this way. You're going that way.
Yep.
I'm going to meet up with you somewhere. Don't shoot. His whole legs were shaking, Pender.
Yeah. Wrong line of work. Wrong line of work.
Yeah. We saved the lady's life. Took a lot of convincing to get her out of the bathroom. She had a shotgun in her mouth. She, I talked her out. I got her to sit down on the bed. She's still holding the shotgun. I talked to her for probably 25 minutes. I talked her out of suicide. When I left there, I went back to my commander and I said, sir, this guy needs help. He's not, he's not the guy to be doing this job, like you just said.
Yeah.
It's the wrong line of work.
Yeah.
He's going to kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that's what happened to this guy.
Well, either you're a sheepdog or you're not.
Yeah. I think that's what happened to this guy. I think he was scared. He's scared for his life. And if that's what it is, you probably shouldn't be in law enforcement.
Yeah. I don't think you should be in law enforcement.
Yeah. Okay, brother. Again, thank you. Brian King, I love you, brother, and I give you my condolences. Brian King is actually the one that turned me here a few months back, and I've only watched a few of your videos. I don't know about everything you've done. That's why I wanted to call and try to get some insight, more insight. I'd love to support your channel more, but I want to know more about your thoughts and ideas and where you're coming from.
Okay. Sure thing, man. Just stay involved. Keep calling in.
All right.
Okay, man. Sir. Have a good one. Okay, I know Brian was asking me to talk about JJ, James Jacobson. And man, talk about some crap he's going through. Okay? Holy cow. First off, on probation, not supposed to touch alcohol. He knew that. But here's a guy that's really, he understands he's got a problem. He's trying to fix it. So what does he do? He drinks and he checks himself into rehab and does a stream saying, hey, I'm checking myself into rehab. Well, nice probation officer is now saying that they're going to. Yeah, I know he was on probation for disorderly conduct. I understand that. But now they're saying that they're going to give him 6 months. Here's the problem I have with this. Now, I have a brother-in-law that's in jail right now for an alcohol-related charge. And he deserves to be in jail for DUIs. He deserves to be in jail. Trust me. Okay? But here's the problem that I have. Here's a guy that's going 6 months for saying, hey, man, I got a problem. I need to fix it. Okay? So he checks himself into a detox center and he wants to start fixing himself with this. So they're going to give him 6 months when we have people that do burglaries, armed robberies, even sexual assaults that barely get that kind of time in jail, if at all. Most of your big cities that get somebody that's, got caught stealing, robbing a store, liquor store, something like that, barely get that. Half the times they get a slap on the wrist and probation. And yet he's going to get 6 months. Wants to give him 6 months for that. It's unbelievable. I mean, we have people that are convicted of pedophilia that might serve 3 years. Might. But because he says, hey, man, I got a problem here. I got to check myself into detox, man. I'm done with this. What's that, Brian? Not if you can help what? Okay, who do we got here? Hello, you're on the air.
Hi. Explain more about this JJ. I don't know him. What's his background? Is he in the auditing or cop watching or whatever? I got that Brian said that he's on probation for 2 years for, I forget what he said, but anyway.
2 years for disorderly conduct. Yeah.
Disorderly conduct. Okay. But what's his whole background? I mean,
I don't know that much about his background. If he would call in, he could tell his background. I don't think he wants to at this point. He might. He's been pretty transparent about himself. I mean,
but does he have a channel?
Oh yeah. You can scroll up and you can scroll up in the chat and you can find his channel. I know he was in there earlier in the chat. If you can scroll up that far, or in the replay, you can scroll up and you'll be able to what?
So he filmed himself checking into rehab center.
Yep.
And because he was filming, they gave him 6 months?
Well, no, because they saw the film. They saw the film and they're like, why is he in a detox if he's not supposed to be drinking? That's why.
Well,
isn't it? I know what you want to say. It sucks.
I'm confused. I mean, you see you did something wrong. Oh, shit, I fell off the wagon. I'll go check myself in and get my help again. And then they punish him even harder? What the hell is that?
It doesn't make sense. The justice system doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, the punishment versus the crime is completely screwed up. Completely screwed up.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But then again, I don't think it makes sense. I've gone to your channel and other channels, and I've, done PayPals and stuff like that. And then one of the people that I've been donating to turns around and steals everything out of my account.
Wow. That's kind of screwy.
Yeah, they attacked me. They attacked my account. And, if that's what you do to people who donate to you, well, fuck all of you.
and who by chance did that to you?
Oh, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
But because it's an ongoing investigation, and they tried to steal, but I have a good bank. They figured it out, and they called me right away and they shut it down. But I've lost my PayPal. I have to close down my PayPal account. I have to change my banking account, and my ATM is frozen. Till we get the new number, and they have to mail me my new card.
Okay.
And so, punish the hand. That's what's the old adage? Bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah. But, I can't say this isn't the first time I've heard of. I'll just call it. I don't know. Would be a good word for it. Yeah. Well. I don't know if I'd call it extortion, but yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, besides just plain out thievery. But
when when I'm back on the mainland again, they try that again. Granny's going to come knocking with George.
Oh yeah,
and George is my 357.
You really can't take that into your own hands. Now, if it's at your house, that's different. I wouldn't be going to someone else's house and knocking on their door.
The new house, I have a lot of the dogs that I've saved, and one of them is a half wolf, half German Shepherd. His name is Buddy. And like I said in the chat, if that guy was walking around my house on a wellness check, Buddy would have jumped through the window and taken him out.
Yeah, that's what I said. If someone's poking around my house with a flashlight, they're getting shot. I'm just saying, it's over with.
Well,
so this guy is lucky.
I'll let the dogs go first. And if they're still an asshole, then I'll plug them and say, oops, sorry, I didn't see you were a cop. Sorry, I'm a little upset because I've been trying to support a lot of people, and I give money to you because I like your channel and I like you to be able to get all the stuff that you want for your channel and all that. And I just like you as a friend. But you give to these people, you feel for them, you give them money, and then they turn around and they bite your hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm not like my granddaughter. I don't have PTSD.
Yeah.
I'm not going to roll over. I'll come knocking. Anyway, I'm going to go let somebody else call. Thanks for explaining it. I'll go find his channel and get more on it. Okay. But I can't help him because of that other problem. But anyway.
Okay. I understand. You take care.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. I mean, everything went wrong tonight. Trying to get this thing rolling, and Discord is not wanting to. It's not wanting to work. So I'm gonna have to do a lot. I can hear all the binging and banging from Discord, but yet no one can talk. Oh, wait a second! I got it now.
Yeah.
Hello, you're on the air.
Well, see, the problem is you're an old person, and Discord hates you for that.
So Phil didn't want to get in Discord, but now he's going to call me. Okay, so Discord's working now. Thank you. This is awesome.
Well, I've just got a couple of things on your. I heard on your first call.
Okay.
The new Supreme Court building in D.C. that was built in like 1910 or something like that.
Okay.
When they were redoing the whole city, there were actually opponents against the size of the gallery because it holds like 500 people in it, and the gallery in the old Supreme Court only held like 50 people.
Okay.
Do you know their argument against the larger galleries?
No, I don't.
Oh, they wanted to prevent the justices from grandstanding in front of so many people. And now they're recycling that same exact argument for not having cameras in the Supreme Court. And
Okay.
your guy is a bit wrong about everything trickling down, because the rules of decorum actually have a lot more leeway in the lower and appellate courts than in the Supreme Court. Because it really depends on the discretion of the justice whether he will allow cameras, video, or still cameras, because the court sketch artist is a thing of the past and needs to die. But yeah, there's a lot more leeway in the lower courts than in the upper courts
Yeah.
over what a justice can allow in his court. It gets much more strict.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily that everything trickles down from the top. It's that the top has some extra rules that are kind of screwy as far as the Supreme Court goes. And when it comes to the FBI, this problem, the problems, if you fix the FBI, that doesn't necessarily fix the policing strategy of the country, because the FBI doesn't really police the country. They investigate interstate crimes, and that's it.
Okay.
It's like it's literally their entire purview. And so if you fix how they do that so they don't violate anyone's rights anymore, that doesn't necessarily follow that the local police station is going to suddenly become better and not violate your rights either.
Yeah, well, like I said,
because they're different organizations. What you're doing with your sheriffs is actually much better, because it's decentralized personal change, because you made a cogent argument to the people who have the ability to make the change in your area.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. That sheriff, one of the ones who's a really good friend of mine, just spoke at the White House just the other day. Because he is not just respected locally, he's respected on a national level. We're talking, of course, Tarrant County Sheriff Bill Wayburn, who's a friend of mine. He just spoke at the White House. His influence is pretty big. So when you have his ear, he's the one that called me Monday after the swatting.
Well, his influence is not necessarily that he gets to order all of these other sheriffs around. It's that he's respected.
Thank you. So if you want to get the ear of someone who is respected, what do you have to do? You have to gain respect from that. Yeah, thank you. You have to gain respect and be respectable.
No way.
I know it's a far-fetched concept there, Andrew. But
not everyone wants to actually solve the problems that they're complaining about. Some people just want to complain.
Yeah, they like their dumpster fire. Yeah.
Well, it's fun. Look, I get it.
And they're fun to watch. I love watching a good dumpster fire. Yeah, I love watching a good dumpster fire.
It can be really fun to complain and not fix anything. I understand. But don't pretend like Steve isn't doing things to change things. And bottom-up change, it works. It's actually the best kind of change, because on an individual level, you're changing everyone's mind.
Yeah,
the cop. If the cop himself thinks that it would be a bad thing for him to be a jerk to people just because he's had a bad day, because he's been convinced that's not how a police officer ought to act, then it's better than if just some bureaucrat somewhere says there's a punishment for being a jerk when you're a cop.
Well, I want to say something, because Brian King said respectful until disrespected. No, even if a cop disrespects me, I'm going to be respectful, and not because I like the cop, because I know there's cameras on, and I know the way I behave. Okay.
Well, it goes beyond just police officers. I've found that dealing with people who are belligerent in general, if you're simply polite, it takes the wind out of their sails.
It's really difficult, but at the same time,
they can continue to be irritable and belligerent, and certainly if they want to be, but they don't get to push you around because you're too busy being polite.
Well, look, all I know is that every time I've been polite to a cop, and I've had a lot of cops that were complete asses to me before. Okay, not all of them are wonderful. But at the same time, a lot of times what I've learned is a lot of cops come from a freaking they see the worst of the worst all day long, and I'm not making an excuse for them. But a lot of times I can change a cop's attitude who just got from a shitty call where he probably had to sweep up some kid from a car accident off the street and then go tell the grandparents or next of kin that they just lost their child. Okay? And I know this firsthand that this has happened. Okay? Because I found that out from a police officer that I was talking to that wasn't really in a good mood. So, but guess what? My demeanor changed that.
Aristotle said, "Be kind to everyone you meet, for everyone fights a hard battle."
Like, and I know I hear this, cops are supposed to be impervious. Well, no, cops are human. And I'm not saying that because they're going to make mistakes. Okay.
On the other hand, it's not wrong to expect more from people in a position of responsibility.
Maybe it's because I know so many cops.
I think it's fine to have. I think it's fine to have higher expectations for people who wield the power.
You
like
should.
That, who are charged with the responsibility of enforcing law in the jurisdiction. But on the other hand, you've also got to take responsibility on yourself to remember that you're dealing with a person who might be making a mistake at the moment.
Well, wait a second, Brian.
Sure, maybe they were rude or brusque with you, but that doesn't necessarily follow that you get to say "F you" to them.
Okay, let me address something Brian said. He said, "Be disrespectful to me, and it's just going to make me be very wary and on guard." Of course, you're going to be on guard, but you don't have to be disrespectful back to them. I mean, you return that. They have their cameras on. If you have a camera, okay, and you're filming,
it doesn't necessarily follow that you even have to let them order you around. You can be assertive while being polite if you want to be. I've done it.
Yeah,
it's not difficult.
I kept on telling.
You don't have the right to order me.
I kept on.
Excuse me, sir. I'm not being detained.
Yeah, I understand it, but I kept on asking the police officer that were confronting me. I'm like, look, I'm in my own yard. What's going on? What are you doing? Why do you have guns out? And I kept on asking this. Why do you have guns out? Why am I being handcuffed? And I kept the communication open until I got the answer. Once I got the answer and realized, oh God, I've been swatted. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Okay, but what I'm saying is I kept communication over.
It wasn't video over and over and over again. And once everyone was clear on what the actual situation was, all of the tension just dissolved, and they were just regular people who happened to be visiting your house under less than ideal circumstances.
Oh yeah, like look at the police footage. That guy was like, "Man, I was first one on scene. I didn't know what I was going to be up against, so I pulled out the AR-15." He was the first guy that was actually, when I'm sitting from where I was, he was to my right in the corner. They were both police officers that were the one that you saw run up there. Both of them were first behind the mailboxes, using all the bricks to shield them. They didn't know what they were going to be up against. And like I said, I couldn't see them. It was so dark. All I saw was flashlight on me. And the only reason I knew it was a cop because I heard the tone of his voice before he even identified himself as a cop. But yeah. The whole... No, I didn't ask for a warrant because it was a domestic call. As soon as I heard him say, "You having problems with your wife? Did you make some statement tonight?" I'm like, this is a domestic. He's going in the door because he doesn't have to ask with a domestic. He's got to go in there and find out if she's okay. So what happened was I didn't want someone storming through the door in my house because my wife shoots. She's a damn good shot. And if she hears someone come through the door, she's got her 2 kids in there. Our 2 kids, and she's going to protect them. There was going to be a gunfight. So I did it that way.
It doesn't matter that the fact that your wife would win the gunfight is irrelevant because you don't want her. I
don't want her getting hurt. I don't want her getting hurt. I don't want anything going wrong. So I chose in that moment because I knew they were going in. I would rather them go in with my permission and not crash through the door than I would rather them do that. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure that didn't happen. Also, I didn't want him to go rummaging through all my guns. So yeah, go check it. Yeah, get that one that you want to look at. I don't care.
There's a little bit of a difference between Miss, we're coming in, police, and the sound of a door breaking. You know?
Yeah. So
it's like whatever control of the situation you can exercise, definitely do it. And my father was also very impressed with that clip, who, as you know, was arrested for resisting arrest.
Yeah. Can you be arrested for resisting arrest? Okay, what was the initial arrest?
That was it.
He was arrested.
It took 18 months for the judge to finally figure out how that was a logical contradiction.
He's like, yeah, you were arrested for resisting arrest. So, okay, so what were you originally being arrested for?
My father was arraigned like 4 times. He had to go to like 3 pre-trial hearings before it actually got in front of the criminal trial judge. And the lawyer's like, my client pleads innocent because this is not a crime.
Yeah.
Then the judge looks at the charges and goes, well, why is this in front of me at all?
Yeah.
You, Mr. Prosecutor, are an idiot and should feel bad, basically. And this all happened a very long time ago, and I'm exaggerating greatly, but I like to imagine he shamed the prosecutor. Anyway, yeah, so when it comes to dealing with just jerks and irate people in general, let alone the fellows who wear a badge, it's a very good idea to be polite in your assertions, not roll over, not just give people whatever they want. That's not what anyone is suggesting. Everyone who's just screaming bootlicker at the moment. That's not what anyone is suggesting. You just take the time to actually think about the words that come out of your mouth before they do. That's it.
Look, I was very, very aware of what the hell is going on. I mean, if you notice, guys, when I walked out, you could see it because I had the camera so you could still see my face because I was still live streaming. But I made sure it was at an angle to where the cops could see the reflection in the camera, the phone, so they knew exactly what it was. Of course, I had my cigar in the other hand, and I wasn't giving that one up. So I wanted to finish that.
Put it out, and
I know.
I really hope
that's something.
I really hope you got your sheriff's friend to replace that cigar.
It's funny. It was funny because I've talked to Bill Wayburn about that, and I said, "You owe me a cigar." So
don't let that go. Like if I was in my garage having, I don't know, a cider or a glass of wine or something really tasty, and those jerks made me dump it out, I would never ever let it go until they replaced it.
Well, I mean, you know what really broke the ice with the police officers? The next day when I was talking with them at the station, I said, "You're lucky that wasn't one of my Cuban Camachos. Because if that was one of my Cuban cigars, I'd be suing you." So I was like, "You're damn lucky." It was still a good cigar. It was one of my La Perla Habanas. Damn it, freaking Andrew! What the hell are you doing? Are you licking the microphone?
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're making a lot of noise.
I'm like writing down some words on a paper. I don't know what you're hearing.
No, I'm listening to Andrew making all kinds of noise in Discord.
Oh,
Field, why don't you?
Sounds like he's rubbing his microphone.
It's not coming through the phone.
Yeah,
I'll hop off now.
Yeah, you can jump on Discord.
Go off on like 6 more tangents.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it only happens every time we talk.
This is true.
So it's not like that common.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. Hey guys, before we end this stream tonight, yeah, it's kind of like a lo-fi low tech stream tonight with no bells and whistles. For whatever reason, my OBS with the new upgrade in the system doesn't want to run. So when I if I switch to one of the other computers to run OBS, it's gonna be like bad quality, we'll be running at like 600 for a screen resolution. It'll be awful. So hopefully I will get this fixed, and we'll be able to we'll be able to get back to all the bells and whistles and all the fancy music. It's probably good that I don't have this right now, because it kind of gets in the way of this. This has actually been a pretty informative show without all that other stuff going on. So yeah, 640 was awesome when it came out, Brian. But now if I can't stream higher, I won't be happy. So scratch your plan and go bottom up and start with the deputies, and let me know when sheriff makes the changes. Well, that's the cool thing. It's going to get implemented up north in one of the northern, we'll just say, counties, and I believe Tarrant. And if it works well, they're going to go statewide with it. And basically, it's a lot of dispatcher training on how to identify swatting calls, because there are telltale signs as to what it is. Yeah, and when they believe it is
listen, Mr. Trump said.
Well,
you talk to people and you make arguments to them, and you convince them that your position is the correct one, and you do it in your area of most effect. And it just so happens that Steve is able to affect the sheriffs in his area by speaking to them, and he can't just go and talk to Trump or something.
Yeah, but Bill Wayburn can. So just saying. But yeah, like I said, they're gonna, and like I said, it's mostly dispatcher training, but also when they're going to, basically what'll happen is if they believe it may be a swatting call, then the strategy on showing up to the place where the call is going to be a lot different. Because like I said, people have been killed from swatting calls. We've seen it all. It's all over YouTube. And it's making change, which
that one guy was convicted of murder.
Oh yeah, and he don't even care. You see him in court, he don't even care.
Yeah, he's some kind of monster, man. But I'm glad he went to prison. He belongs there.
Yeah. No, Scooter, no one's getting the name of that person. No, not until the person gets a knock on the door. And we'll see. Like I said, it's being held back right now, which is fine by me.
Can you live stream the knock on the door?
No, I can't live stream the knock on the door. I'm not going to be there.
Why not? You could totally be there. You have your own bulletproof vest, so they can't really complain about your safety, can they?
Boulder is on the Pinder's so old jokes. Yeah, guys, do a ride along. If you're not a felon, and you should be able to do a ride along. Should be able to. Michigan Mister, it's not an MMA fight. I'm going to be fighting early next year. Just it's a kickboxing match. It's not MMA.
They let you do kickboxing when you have osteoporosis? I didn't know that.
Oh my God. Yeah, the doctor actually cleared me, you prick. So there. I'm not too old. I thought I was going to be too old. So yeah, I'm going to be able to fight. So yeah, I'm looking for it. I haven't been in the ring in, at least not in an actual fight. So, but anyway, guys, we're on an hour and 8 minutes. I can like fake some background music. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear it. Probably not. I don't think you can. You're bad, man. Jeez. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be. No, I'm not going to play any music.
Exploding planet sound.
No, I mean, I don't think like here. You guys, if I play this, I don't think you'll be able to hear it.
Just go to the power and do an outro.
Can you hear that on in Discord?
Yeah, I hear it in Discord.
I hear it.
Okay, so maybe they can hear it on the stream out there. So we'll be able to hear. So we'll be able to hear the planet blow up, but we won't be able to actually see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
have
Brian
like a
wants me to
balloon in your
twerk
room or something?
away the stream. No, there will be no. This is a twerk-free stream. There shall be no
No.
twerking.
We can hear it in the Discord, but not on
There's
YouTube. I
always-
just
Oh, you
checked.
can't hear it on the stream. Oh well. So if you can only hear it in the Discord, then I'll just turn it off.
We'll just try to mimic it.
What, you're gonna make the planet sound?
Yeah.
Quick, somebody blast your speakers with the music at your microphone.
Oh, I can do that. I can blast my microphone.
Oh yeah, but then we'll get all the echo. No, I don't want to do that.
Play my violin. No, there's people sleeping in my house.
Oh geez. Anyway, I'll turn that off.
I'll just
So-
move my microphone back and forth when the planet explodes.
Okay, well, no, it's just not going to matter because no one's going to be able to hear any of it. So,
Oh, right. Okay.
Your technology went completely sideways this time.
well, Horatius, why would you want me to play piano Owen style? I don't know. I mean, I can sound like an asshole. I just don't know if I'm capable of being one as
musician.
as authentically as
How
he
can you-
can.
How can you play piano like Owen, like Bach?
Well, he can sound like an asshole, and we already know he's full of shit. So
Okay, wait a second. Now I'm going to play piano for you. Ready?
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is piano for you. Ready? There you go. Piano. I played piano for you.
Wait, here, let me do some.
Well, you got a keyboard with you?
Yeah, I did some too.
There you go. See that? Dueling pianos. You get everything
That was-
at this stream. You don't just get
That was
you don't get
beautiful C
topical
major scale.
so you don't just get topical conversation and news talk and current events. You get dueling pianos.
That's right. I think
I
we're
know
owed some
Horatius. I
coins
know you
in
were
that.
joking.
now, if you play dueling banjos on piano against each other,
Yeah, Gen
Oh,
T
wait,
says
yeah,
I'm not
I do
allowed
have a
to.
banjo on my piano.
Gen T says I'm not allowed to twerk unless Nuckin Futz is here or Kumanina. So
No, you're not allowed to twerk, period.
okay, guys.
Like, there's
it's
no
just a hopeless
unless.
tease at this point.
What's that?
It's just a hopeless tease at this point.
Oh yeah, leave it to pastry.
Hey, look, I have a video of my snake giving an apple. Well, it was after Eve gave me the apple, but that's besides the point. So anyway, that being said,
Just
guys,
gonna leave that alone.
yeah. Well, I have a video of it. You know, she handed me the apple and the snake was right there. No, Michigan, I'm not. I'm going to save your retinas. No twerking, okay?
Let's get Andrew to sing the goodbye song from Sound of Music.
From who?
Sound of Music.
What's that?
That's an old movie with Nazis
And
in
we
it.
know he's not gay.
I am kidding.
Wait a
I'm
second.
I am formerly Mormon. All right.
Oh, see,
Musicals are
my
very
brother,
popular amongst Mormons.
my brother John just
Oh,
gets
that-
into
yeah,
the
I-
chat and he's like, yeah, don't twerk. My eyes. Yeah. I'm so old. I invented irony. Jeez, I'm trying to get out of here, guys. I'm disappointed. I have no way to end the show other than just to hit the button that says end stream. And it's
Well,
really disturbing.
You can do that, or you can just type in prompt / command : end. Yeah, that's how you used to do it on your old IBM, isn't it?
I never had an IBM. Horatius, I just cut off my ponytail. I had a 6-inch ponytail.
Remember?
I trained Kane.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pat-
By the way, Tim Cook is a communist bootlicker. Screw
That's
that guy.
wrong. Hey, I know what I could do? I could end the stream with playing the theme from I Want My Rib Back.
Oh, there you go.
What do you think?
That's an idea.
Well, Slap Weasel, I had to mention communism. I hadn't done it this whole time.
you haven't mentioned communism this whole time, so you had to. Is that it?
Yeah,
He's
it's a
calling
rule.
from California. It's an obligation.
It's his cry of help.
Yeah,
Roy, I'm keeping this going just to
Tim
keep
Cook
you.
from Apple has banned app that the Hong Kongers were using to track the police, and he also banned like 6 free speech apps specifically in California, probably.
Well, Roy's saying I need to end the stream so we can get the red stream. No, I'm keep this going. You can just leave.
Now it's lasting until midnight.
Who let the dogs out? No, see, I can play my own songs because I wrote it. I wrote the song "I Want My Rib Back."
It's the red
Yeah.
stream. Cincinnati was out of it in baseball long ago.
Wait a second. Hold on.
No,
What?
Nothing. Okay.
Again, let me get the other mic going here. Hold on a second. Check 1, 2. Wow, it's got a lot of reverb in that.
It's doing the God voice.
No, God, it's a lot of reverb. Holy cow. God, it's been a while since I played it. Hold on a second. That's it. That's it. Okay. Do you guys even know this song? This is the theme song to it.
I want my rib back.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if they know it. This is when we used to do the fight thing. I
How could
wrote
you
this
not know
song
this
for it.
song?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't know it. Okay.
That's weird.
I don't do sing-alongs. It brings
No,
up
okay. You're not gonna sing along? I'll
moment
sing it
memories.
then.
No.
Ready? A long time ago, I fell asleep in a great big meadow. I woke up with a woman at my side. She done me wrong, and now I run and hide. All for an apple, that's how I got convicted. We're on the run, and we're both evicted. That's right, God. I want my rib back. I want my rib back. Let's go back to the beginning. That's right. I want my rib back. And now we're wandering in a foreign land, with cities coming up right out of the sand. I got 2 kids named Cain and Abel, but they can't seem to get along inside the stable. You know we're hanging out most every night, but I can't seem to get along with my own wife. Hey God, we go back to the beginning. I want my rib back. I want my rib back. Yes, that was fun. I haven't played that one in a while. It took me a little while to remember it. Jeez. Okay, guys, that's it for the stream.
Yay.
Okay, everybody. Don't kill yourselves, or do if you're into that sort of thing.
Well, you know, you guys can listen to the song. It's actually, if you scroll back, it's from a couple of months ago. You'll be able to find the actual studio version of that with all the instruments and drums and all that other good stuff. Anyway, it's in there anyway. You'll see it. It's called "I Want My Rib Back." It's got a picture of Adam and Eve stained glass on the screen. Anyway, guys, hopefully by Thursday stream we are going to get OBS up and running. If not, I'm going to have to get a different broadcast software. And Roy's got the right idea. Yeah, you can support me at Teespring. You can do a PayPal, or you can send me a super chat, or you can I don't know, join, how about Patreon? You can do that, which is going to get some stuff on there. So anyway, you guys have a great evening for my low-tech, low-brow stream. And thanks to everybody for coming along. We'll talk to you later. Bye.